It is a brand new edition of Hockey and Hounds. John Tortorella, Jason Myrtetus, brought to you by Ticketmaster. Make more memories live. We've got a dog, and there's a lot of commonality in the dog this week. But where I want to start is I want to talk a lot about the mind, because you love coaching the mind. Do you feel the intensity at this time of year as a coach? I know you really want to project to the next game. Beyond that, you want to stay within those kind of parameters as a coach. But do you, when you walk into the rink, do you feel a different intensity this time of year with what's going on?
Well, I feel, it's a different excitement as far as what's ahead of us. First of all, what challenge is ahead of us? And that's what all athletes want, is a challenge. And the amount of responsibility that comes with it, as far as what that day entails, how you have to go about your business. I think it's just a focused excitement about trying to get each and every day going here and trying to be the best we can be.
You know, certain players, I remember this growing up in sport, when there's big games, there's players that meet the moment. You know, they walk into the locker room, not even in the game, just the way they walk in when the moments are bigger, they carry a different energy. And you go, oh, that guy's here. Even if he says something, they just know how to meet the moment in their body language.
Yeah,
you see guys like that?
Yeah. And I'm hoping to see it consistently, because as each day goes by, less and less games, more focus, and everything starts shrinking.
More consequence to everything.
Yeah, it's just that type of it's just that type of feel, as you asked in the first question. I'm anxious to see how guys react. I don't know. A lot of these guys haven't been in this situation, and we can project. Like when you do the combine and you interview these young players, it's all projection. It's all maybe. That's what we think he is. You don't know.
Yeah,
that's why
not
scouting.
Until you're in it.
No, not. That's why scouting's so difficult. Is you're projecting and kind of predicting what he's going to be. You don't know until you're in the shit and find out how do you wallow in it, or do you say, I'm here, and you make your presence felt?
You can't gauge somebody in the most stressful situations, because you can do that in junior or overseas. But when you're in the NHL, it's a whole different ball of wax, which is why I want to ask you about a specific player. Because Tyson Forester returned, and you said you were looking for him on the bench. And when he wasn't there, it was a void you didn't have, because you can throw him in different situations. And I think sometimes we get caught up in a score sheet, going, oh, the guy scored a goal. Do you have a primary assist? But sometimes it's not about that. It's about a board battle and those things. And you know that the intensity of the moment is coming for this team. And since he's come back, he has met that moment in a lot of different ways. And again, it's not just about the goals. It's about the way he carries himself on the ice and those other things that he does as well.
And he has, and he's not nervous about it at all.
Yeah.
You talk about the mind. I like I've said it to you many times, I like watching people when they don't think they're being watched.
Yeah.
You find out so much about the people. I watch him on the bench. I watch how he handles himself if he makes a mistake. I don't think he's afraid. And I'm looking at some other guys, and even some veteran guys that are a little bit nervous. And those are the things I'm watching right now as we're building. I need to see what these guys are, and you only can see it, not interviews, but when they're doing it and how they react to each and every situation.
I see it in that Ottawa game. He has the goal late in the first period. Then he gets the penalty shot goal. But there was a play in the third period that stuck with me more than those two goals. He killed a play in the third period in the corner. Physically took the guy, was on the right side of the puck, angled him, checks him into the boards, takes the puck, quick break out the other way.
He's
just to relieve pressure.
Yeah, he's so good and strong with his stick, and he's just
does everything
positionally.
Hard.
Yeah, positionally he's good.
Yeah,
it puts him in better spots to check. He's not in the bad ice. He's in the good ice all the time, where people have to come through him, and it gives him a better opportunity to break up those plays. It gives him a better opportunity to get going offensively. And his future is bright. It is bright, and very fortunate to have him here.
A much more polished 200 by 85 player than maybe a lot of people thought. Doing everything hard all the time, that's a message to the opposition a lot of times, that when it gets nitty gritty, you may have an inconsequential play in the neutral zone, but if you're going to be a pain in the ass on that play, then when it is consequential, you're even more so. You got a guy in Nick Seeler, who I think is probably a pain in the ass from the drop of the puck to the buzzer every night in all zones, in all situations. The intensity he plays with. I know this is a weird time of year. Do you feel conflicted at all right now?
As far as Seals with the deadline and all
Yeah.
that, sure. And again,
I do. I feel icky in a way.
Yeah, we're not trying to move him. We're certainly going to listen. As Danny said, as I have said, Jonesy, Seals he's a tough guy to think he's not going to be part of you, and sure, I think about that every day.
Yeah.
Those glue guys, those pros, it's the best word. It's not a fancy word. He's a pro.
Yeah.
And he's one of the most competitive pros I've ever coached. It's going to take a little bit to get him away from us.
Yeah.
But if teams are willing to give us that, we have to listen. This isn't just going to move Seals because he's a free agent and we get a draft pick. This is if anything happens with him, it's going to have to be a really good deal because we don't want to lose him because we think he's a really big part of this.
It's going to have to be the old Godfather deal.
Yeah.
An offer he can't,
Yeah. He's that important. And
yeah.
Remember, Jason, a couple of years ago when I came here, he wasn't on the board.
Yeah.
He
was an 8.
Yeah. He wasn't talked about with me. I didn't know the team and I didn't really hear his name that much at all. He left the game.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Right. He left the game. And
I think that's why he is the man he is now because everything's been earned.
Yeah.
Nothing's been given to him.
No. And you know what? That's why I love him around here because I think we have athletes on this team. I think we have athletes throughout the league. I make no bones about it. They've had their ass kissed and they have their entourage and entitlement and all that comes with today's all sports athletes.
Yep.
Not this guy. And that's why it's so good to have those guys come into my world. Seals doesn't say that, but I want them to come into his world and see what it really is to earn and not be given.
He's another one of those guys that when you look at the score sheet, he may not show up with a goal or an assist, but there's 3 block shots on a 4-minute PK that meant everything for that game.
Yeah.
And he's just so willing. This time of year, the pressure of the moment. And are you watching the standings? Are you watching to see what happened the night before when you're not playing?
Not.
You can get really washed in that.
Yeah, I don't. I know where we're at.
Yeah.
I'd be lying to you if I didn't. But I'm not picking that thing up at 11 o'clock at night when we're not playing and seeing what the scores are.
Yeah.
We can't control that. I know what my day, by 11 o'clock the night before, the next day, I know the business we're going about that next day. I'm already prepared for the next day. I don't need to get, I'll have enough information coming my way. When I walk in this damn door in this practice facility, there's enough stuff coming at me and people tell me what went on the night before, this, that, the other thing. I don't need to waste that night thinking about it. I have enough concerns of just getting ready for our stuff the next day.
You got to recharge too. I think sometimes we look at players all the time and, how's their mental energy? How's their physical, emotional, all this? Coaches got to recharge too.
Yeah, it's an interesting thought because I listen to our coaches, like I listen to Shazi, and some of they're watching games, and you know what? I don't watch many games. I watch our team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't spend a lot of time on off nights watching the other games, and we don't do a lot of talking about the other team when we play that team, and because it's about us. So. Is that wrong for a coach? I don't know. I've just done it my whole life. I need to get away from it too. And I try to get my coaches to get away from it because I think you're a better person the next day and such a long year. I think you need to get away from it when you can. So you're that good the next day when you're supposed to be.
Yeah. You've got to be able to separate at times.
Yeah.
I remember listening to an interview with Marty Brodeur and he said, whenever the puck was in the other zone, I had to separate from the game, just mentally.
Yeah.
And he said, as soon as they got to the blue line, they were coming up, I had to re-engage and start assessing everything around me.
It's interesting. That's within the game.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah.
Because he's on the ice the entire time and you're just going to mentally exhaust you. If you're like moving every time, it's in the offensive zone at the other end. Give me a break. and he knew how to maximize his rest periods. Let's talk about a great dog this week, and I mentioned the commonality of this dog. This is Max. Max is at the PSPCA. He's a 3-year-old male German Shepherd. He was rescued not that long ago, back in October, beginning of the season, which feels like a couple of weeks ago. Very light-colored German Shepherd as well. He was rescued by the law enforcement team along with 5 other dogs, and those 5 dogs have been adopted, and now it's time to get Max adopted. And I'm going to show you the video here of Max, because Max has got good energy. I think he'd be a good third-line checking winger.
Oh, he's gorgeous.
Long, too, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, great. The German Shepherds, it's a more beautiful dog on the planet than a German Shepherd.
Looks really healthy, too.
He does.
Yeah.
Yeah, good weight on him, and this is a young dog, 3 years old, so this is a dog that's got a lot of great years left, but we got to find a place for those great years to happen.
Well-mannered, it looks like, wants to play.
Yeah, walking alongside the handler there, not jumping all over him. Very smart, affectionate dog. He can be a little nervous at times, but loves his handlers. Big, but loves people and open to meeting kids as well. Can respect his size and strength. But he's also open to meeting other dogs. Maybe a little low-key dog would be the good kind of yin and yang here for this one.
He's a puppy.
Yeah.
I mean, this one here is a puppy, yeah.
He is big. He's got something to get up there a little bit, and he's got some height.
I had one very similar color, even lighter. He's a little bit dark in the midsection. Same name. When I was going to university, I had one, Max, a full shepherd, huge ears. They're just beautiful animals.
So on my way here to do the interview today, I texted my wife the one sheet, and I said, "Can you believe the name of the dog of the week this week?" She goes, "What's not to believe? That was the name of my German Shepherd growing up." I said, "That's the point." She goes, "Oh." But her beloved dog growing up was a German Shepherd named Max.
Well, there you go, Jason. You could be knocking on the door here.
Oh, come on. Slow down. Again, he's open to meeting other dogs and would probably prefer a low-key dog in a potential new home. But I don't want Max to be in there any more than 10 days from now.
Yeah.
He looks healthy. We need to get Max out.
Yeah, and again, to go back with October, he's been in there since October, and that's a long time. They're usually moved in and out of there quickly, and that's a long time, especially for a young dog like this with all the energy that he has.
And he is absolutely beautiful. For all the info on Max and the other dogs, go to PhiladelphiaFlyers.com/hockeyandhounds. Again, PhiladelphiaFlyers.com/hockeyandhounds, and go visit Max. Just get eyes on and see if there's a connection there. Also, Torch Carnival is getting close, coming up on the 17th on St. Patrick's Day. Fans can meet you and the Hockey and Hounds experience at the Carnival coming up March 17th, and chance to meet you, take photos with you, and meet adoptable dogs.
Yeah, we're going to have some there. Had some there last year, and looking forward to it. It's such a great event.
You can purchase your tickets at flyerscarnival.com. Again, that's coming up on the 17th. Make sure if you're at the Carnival, you find the Hockey and Hounds experience and hang out with Torts. And you're always amenable when there's 4-legged friends around.
Yeah.
What do they do to you? Like what does it make you feel? Because like I see people's comments on the videos that we put out for Hockey and Hounds, and they say you can feel his passion when it comes to dogs.
I'd rather be with animals than people, quite honestly. So, but not here, not at the Carnival. I had a blast last year, and my wife and we had some old timers there last year. I'm not sure if you remember, but we had some old timers. When we were there, I don't know how long I was there. I was concerned about the dogs because so many people were handling them, and they were real old dogs. Yeah. And I believe they found their homes, but I was concerned about their energy because it was a very long day for them.
And it's overwhelming with everything going on there.
And I'm holding them, taking pictures and with the people. But you know what, Jason, there's nothing better. I think animals are so intuitive, and it's so therapeutic. I'd just rather be with them.
Yeah, I agree. Outside in the field, running around, throwing some ball to them, whatever it may be. But it's going to be a blast at the Carnival as well. Last thing for you. Looking at your schedule, I see Toronto, Boston, Toronto, Florida, Tampa. This murderer's row. Yeah. It's really going to determine a lot, but you're going to learn a ton, aren't you?
Oh, this is
it.
For the situation we're in, okay? And, no one here is in our minds. Well, I'll put it to you this way: it's perfect timing for us to be in the hunt, to play against teams that are pretty much there,
Yeah.
and those teams that are there and know we're going to be in, they're working at their game to get ready.
Yeah. Sharpening it.
It's doubled up at this time of year. Not only teams trying to get in and frantically trying to get in, but the teams that are in and basically the teams that we're going to be playing are just trying to get their game to another level. So it's going to be a tremendous test. It's going to be a great learning experience, not only for the players, but for the coaching staff and organization to be in this, because we haven't been there in a while.
Yeah.
And to see how people react, see how the coaches react.
Yeah.
See how Danny reacts. All of us, we're all trying to learn. We're going to watch the players and see how they go about it. But I think for the Philadelphia Flyer organization, it couldn't be better timing on where we think we're at as an organization to be involved in this situation.
And you guys earned that these games mean everything.
Yeah, we've done our work to get here.
Yeah.
Now you got to try to enjoy it.
Yeah.
You can't
enjoy the moment.
Yeah, don't be afraid of it.
Mm.
You can be nervous, and I know some guys are going to be nervous and anticipating. But God damn, if you can't grab a hold of this and try to enjoy being in it and not just think it's too much pressure, then we get the wrong people, and we're going to find out. We're going to find out.
Your general manager did not have that mindset.
Well,
he rose in these situations.
Well, this is just another minute or so with you. That's why I love working with Danny. That's why I love bouncing things off of Danny with some of the players. Like I have some players struggling right now, some older guys that are struggling. And Danny's been there. I don't need to go outside the organization. I can talk to my general manager who's just upstairs from me and say, what worked for you? How can I help them? What can I do to help them to try to get their confidence back? Because Danny's been there.
Yeah.
And,
recently too.
Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't 1973 when he was there.
And it wasn't a slam dunk for Danny to come into this National Hockey. He played in the minors and went through he went through it all. Lost confidence and found a way to get it back. But a guy that wants to be in the moment, that guy was there. And so it's such a unique and positive thing for me and a big advantage for me that I have a chance to talk to him about this stuff.
Torts, have a great week.
Thanks, man. You too.